What else do I want? Do that. Okay. Hello. Is everything working? I hope it is, and I hope it isn't lagging like hell. Got no music, so all I can hear is fan. Uh, why did I turn the music off? Not laggy yet. Let's see how it works in an actual game. Anyway, we're just waiting for Lucas. What's that noise? Okay. Okay, this guy is on his way. Hopefully this doesn't show up. Nothing in my... Wit is not allowed in my Twitch chat. It's a bannable offence. Okay. Now, we've got this guy on Team Wolf attacking Moccacino on Team Owl. Still Skunks and Pigeons banned. I believe as Team Badger, I want the attacker to win. Because you always want... I need Wolf and Boar to be lower. Yeah, actually, I don't think I care about how low Owl's exhaustion is. So maybe I want Owl to be better, so the Wolves will be worse off. But generally, you just want everyone else to lose as many games as possible. Yeah, that's what I said. Hang on. Scoreboard went. Is it back? There it is. Okay, here we go. Squirrel Mole, Cam Snake, Owl Artie against Squirrel Lizard, Falcon Cam, Snake Wolf. Interesting to see no moles from this guy. I'm going to be curious how he deals with skunk bands, because skunks were his... I think they're his favourite unit. He can't do any of his patented skunk pushes anymore. Snakes and chameleons from both players. This guy obviously taking the extra falcons for some owl counter, plus they synergize with the wolf. These are two high-weighted players. I don't know who's considered the favourite. I can check that if I look at the matchups tab. Should be pretty even though. Ooh, actually, Moccacino is considered the favourite. That actually kind of makes sense considering he's been playing a lot more lately. Like, this guy hasn't really been taking the game very seriously. He still does better than most people, but let's see if he can do well enough. Okay, Moccacino coming in with a mole attack. This guy has his warrens on the front, so he's going to lose some. That's all Moccacino's going to go for. He's just taking the one warren and then leaving. No lizards out from this guy yet, but he is 2 farms ahead. So he's got some... He can probably make back the 60 food he lost in that warren. Moccacino's trying to catch up, going for his own farms, and this guy wants to push. You've seen that that Moccacino's trying to eco up. Moccacino's putting down the moles for some quick reinforcements. This guy does have the bigger army, but Moccacino has the defender's advantage, the quicker reinforcements, and the mill tanking. And he's going to hold off this attack very well. I expect that a lot of this guy's units were still over here. They didn't make their way over in time. But this guy's not too far behind. Needs to stick down an extra farm. He's still ahead on units. So he's going to feel safe ecoing up. Both players getting to 8 farms. Or, well, 7 for this guy, but he'll be 8 soon, I imagine. Moccacino already going up to 8. And with his moles, he's going to be even on army. This guy does force a sell. He's got a decent concave, but Moccacino takes it again. Still no lizards from this guy is interesting to see. He's going to be supply blocked as he goes for this 8th farm. It's possible Moccacino could attack, and that looks like what he's doing. He's putting down some moles. I don't know if this guy can hold this. He doesn't have a big army. He does have the defender's advantage, but how much will that be worth? He's getting whatever squirrels he can. And he's doing the non-rally maneuver, which gives him a good concave. And he loses 1 warren, but look at how effective these squirrels are being. Like, with a much smaller army, this guy trashed Moccacino. He did lose the 2 warrens, but it's only tier 1 warrens. So I think this guy can, you know... This guy would rather lose warrens than pigs at this stage. Okay, Moccacino going straight into double chameleon. This guy needs to scout this. I believe he has. He definitely has. Oh, and he's actually rallying over his squirrels. Is he going to commit to this? It looks like he is. He has the army, and Moccacino is has put a lot of money into those tier 2 Warrens. This guy doing his patented non-micro. But here come the chameleons. And this guy doesn't have an answer ready for these. He's trying to eco up even more. But once Moccacino gets to multiple chameleons, he's going for 6. He's already got 4. How is this guy going to hold? It's going to be like the mole pushes again, but even worse. And this guy is still supply blocked. He's setting up for the non-rally. He's not rallying his units, so they all will converge at the right time. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. This guy's feeling confident. The problem with this non-rally that I'm realizing now is that it leaves you very open to harassment. Because if Moccacino has just moved his chameleons onto this mill, this guy would have to rally to defend it. That would screw up his plan. This guy's saving up, going for... I thought he was might be going for a wolf. He's going to go for snakes, which makes some sense. I don't know if he'll be able to get them out, though. He is ahead on eco, and Moccacino isn't moving in yet, although he has a far larger army. But no need to rush this. He does have the owl and the arty. He has a better late game comp. And he can probably take more mills. There's only one other mill on this map, and it's this one, which probably goes to Moccacino. You can probably cut that off with an artillery cannon. Or with just a superior army. And that's what he's going to do. Lucas is going to go down, and he does see it. Armies are evening up, but these snakes aren't going to be in position unless this guy... Okay, this guy is actually bringing them over. This guy's slightly behind on economy for the moment. It looks like he wants to get some snake poke done. And he's got an opportunity, but he's hitting the tier 1 rather than the pigs. It's going to be very hard to whittle through all this tier 1 with just snakes. This guy getting out some chameleons, so he's going to have his own big bruisers, but he is lacking in... He's all DPS. He's very glass cannon at the moment. He's got no tanking. Okay, here comes Moccacino. Armies are fairly even, with Moccacino having a slight lead. The chameleons come in and get caught up on the other cams, and with the snakes poisoning them, they go down quickly, but that entire time, Moccacino's tier 1 was just cutting through, getting warrens and squirrels, but 2 of this guy's snakes survive. He loses 1 farm, he loses a couple of warrens, but he comes out broadly ahead. Keeping your tier 2 alive is a big deal, but I don't think he'll be able to push. He's microing these snakes. Well, he was microing them pretty well, but they do die. He's coming in with just 1 chameleon, and 1 snake is... Well, it's 2 snakes now. I don't think he's going to be able to clear up all of this tier 1. And he loses both his... He loses 2 extra snakes. Is he going to surrender? That was my phone. Apologies. He does surrender. That was an alert to remind me that I'm streaming. I don't know if this guy needed to surrender there. He'd taken 1 bad fight, but Moccacino was retreating and he was ahead in eco. Might have been a bit preemptive. Alright. Same decks coming out from both players. Squirrel Mole Cam, Snake Owl Machine Artillery against Squirrel Lizard Falcon Cam Snake Wolf. This guy was holding very well in the last game. And then he overextended in that last counterattack. Hopefully for him, he will not make the same mistakes again, but this is a much worse map for him. I mean, last map was slightly Moccacino favoured, but this one definitely is. This guy... It's going to be hard for this guy to expand out to here, which is his next closest mill. Moccacino can take this mill, and he can arty creep and completely cut off this guy from any expansion. This guy's coming in with a 1 lizard rush. He's not going to be able to get anything done here. But he's not going to lose his lizard either. He's not going to sell the Warren though, he's going to commit. He is a bit behind in economy to do this. Going for squirrel lizard early. Cams do work against tier 1, but they work differently. You've got to micro them differently. You've got to flank and get up front rather than stay behind and kite. So there is a tangible difference. Alright, here comes this guy. He's put himself behind an eco to do this. He is ahead in army, but he needs to get something done, and Moccacino is getting up more units as we speak. If Lucas can just get a pig here, he can come away. He does get a pig, so you can consider that a draw, at least. Doesn't feel like a win. He actually lost more units to do that, but if he had not been able to get that pig, he would have been disastrously behind. The chameleons only deal 4 damage now. Wow, they really did get nerfed hard, didn't they? Alright, this guy trying to hold. He's got squirrel lizard against squirrel mole, and there's a lot of moles, so this guy is trying to get out tier 2. And it's not tier 2 that's particularly good against the squirrel mole push, it's the snakes. Let's see how much the defender's advantage helps. He's already down 1 farm. He brings his lizards around into the flanks. He's getting a lot of mole damage, which is good. The pigs can handle moles easier than they can handle squirrels. This guy sells down, rebuilds his farm, and is getting his tier 2 out. Maybe he'll be able to get some counter damage done with this snake warren for having the tempo. He does have pretty good snake micro. Right, let's see what he can do. Or is he just going to expand? No, he's moving out. Oh, he is expanding. Expanding very far forward. He doesn't have any defensive structures, and this is right outside the high ground. So this could backfire terribly. It's also quite a long way from his reinforcements to come, but I know I've been on the wrong end of this strategy from this guy. It can hurt. And Moccacino needs to be careful his commander doesn't go down. Oh, his commander just survives. The mole's being kited around the mill. Moles just take so many snake stacks to go down. And it looks like this guy won't be able to hold this mill. He's getting a lot of damage done, but he's only got 1 snake. He can't hold a position. Don't surrender, Lucas. I could see him thinking about it. But Moccacino is losing plenty of army himself. Moccacino's definitely ahead, but it's not unwinnable. Okay, Moccacino taking this expansion. This guy not really having anything to deal with the mass tier 1 very effectively. He's trying to get out his own squirrel lizard ball. I mean, that last fight was incredibly close. If Moccacino's commander had gone down, Lucas would have won, but he hadn't. Alright, here come the moles tanking a lot of poison stacks, and then the mass squirrels just bursting through. Mole squirrel is... You can't take snakes against mole squirrel. It's just not effective. The combination of tanking and DPS is just too much. This guy needs to take his wolf. I understand you're frustrated, but you need to take your wolf. Is Mocca the attacker? Ah. He apparently forgot. I think that would be a shitty way to end it, so I'd say let's not count it, but I'm not the TO. And I'm not Mocca. Please redo. Okay, Gent says please redo. This guy taking the quartermaster. You can't take Skunks, Lucas. I know you want to. Like, he must want Skunks so badly in this game. Being overrun by tier 1. Okay. Squirrel Mole, Cam, Snake, Owl, Artie against Squirrel, Toad, Mole, Falcon, Cam, Wolf. So this guy dropping the snakes, bringing in the toads. He should be better at dealing with mass tier 1 in this game. If he can just get the right toads hits. He doesn't like playing toads though, so I don't know how practiced he is with them. But he's this guy, so even a unit he's bad with, he'll probably be pretty good with. Alright, map-wise, it's pretty even. Both players have a close mill, and then the mills are further away, but I'd say it probably is Mocca favoured, again. Although, pretty much indistinguishably. Toads versus Owl is a tough one. You need the... they deal with the mice well, but they can't actually hurt the owl itself, and if you don't actually manage to kill the owl or do damage to it while the mice are dead, then you've just wasted toads, essentially. I like that there. Moccacino probably could have just killed this anyway. He didn't know that this guy was supply blocked on the mole. But this guy psyched him out. So, going for tier 2 first. Tier 2 into an expansion. This guy is determined to not get mole pushed again. And where is this guy sending his chameleon? It's going on a real journey. Is it all the way down here? Is it going to start attacking the mill? One chameleon won't have time to go through the mill. Oh, Moccacino setting up for a mole push. This guy needs to scout this, but he's not going to. He's got his mill. He's got his warrens far forward. He's got no toads. He has got one chameleon back at home, but this chameleon is going to essentially be out the fight. There it is, behind the tree. Okay, Moccacino sold the moles. This guy is probably waiting for farms to get put down over here. And then he'll hop on with his chameleon. But Moccacino is watching. Moccacino is really babysitting this mill. He knows that Lucas wants to chameleon harass. Alright, 2 chameleons out for both players. This guy starting to get some toads. Economy's pretty even. This guy might go for a wolf. He's got the money. He's going to go for more squirrels. Tier 1 is really powerful when there's no skunks. And if he can get his... Oh, is this going to be the chameleon? It is. The chameleon's coming in. It's going to pick off a farm. Will it get a second? No, he's going to run. Will this chameleon get away? Moccacino can decloak it. Oh, and this guy has run it into a corner and brought his... Alright, well that's 60 for 60. So, not free. The decloaking makes the chameleon harass so much harder. Because stuff like that happens. It's so hard to get your chameleon out of there safely. It can be harder to even just get it in. Alright, this guy's coming in. He does have the bigger army. Is well set up with a good surround. His tier 2 still isn't at the front though. He has managed to blast his way through the chameleons, but they got a lot of damage done first. I think he got some warrens though as well. And Moccacino definitely looks like he's got... Oh, this chameleon's running, and he finally makes it. He makes it with 2 out HP. Moccacino definitely looks like he's got fewer squirrels than he had before. Okay, I think this guy is actually ahead in this game. Not just on economy, but on army as well. He's got the... I think this guy's quite far ahead, actually. It's going to be tricky for Moccacino to come back. I can see that a farm went down there. That explains the eco advantage. If this guy gets out this second chameleon, then he should be able to blast through Moccacino's chameleons fairly easily. And then it's just a squirrel ball versus a squirrel ball. And the bigger squirrel ball should win. Well, the decloak mechanic is definitely cool. It's just makes it very difficult for chameleons. Alright, this guy moving in with only 1 chameleon. He's holding his toads back. He gets them right on the moles. But the chameleons basically have free reign. And this guy's... That attack was not as good. He is ahead, so most trading is good trading, but I don't think that was... I think that was far enough behind that Moccacino is able to make a profit from it. And toad trades can be expensive. Always rebuilding that. I mean, 6 toads, just 6 toads. That means this guy is at least spending 120 food every fight. I think we should start seeing thirds. Either thirds or tier 3s should be coming out soon. Okay, I like this by this guy. This guy is preparing. He's preempting Moccacino taking this mill by moving his chameleon over. And Moccacino's expecting this guy to do it, so he's trying to decloak the chameleons. The problem with moving your chameleons around like this is that you're not going to have them to actually guard your face if your opponent comes and tries to punch it. Alright, we're getting a lot of moles. Might be better to go for more toads. And that's exactly what this guy wanted, a 360 food. Bursting down the mill. Didn't have the zoom in, but we all heard the explosion. Alright, this guy's actually falling behind in economy now as his farms start to fallow slightly earlier, but he's got a huge amount of moles out. Though speaking of moles, this chameleon's actually got caught up on some of Moccacino's, taking some early damage. And this isn't quite the fight that this guy wanted, but those are some pretty solid toad hits. He didn't get the organisation he was after there. It sort of all came in as a mob, and that's a very big win for Moccacino. Oh, this is a problem for this guy. Those extra chameleons for Moccacino are just doing so much work. I think extra chameleons or extra toads could have changed that fight a lot. Yeah, I don't think this guy plays toads a lot though. Like I said, he doesn't like them. I don't know how much he's practiced with them. They're generally an underused unit in general. Generally in general, yes. So not a lot of people know how many you need. Like, with all of these moles though, I'd really expect this guy to put down at least one more Warren. Moccacino has sold his chameleons. I think this guy hasn't seen that. This guy's finally starting to get some more toads out, but can he hold while they build? I think he can. He should be able to. Okay, so who's going to get the third expansion? It looks like Moccacino's going for his. Whereas this guy might be all in on these two bases. I don't know if he'll be able to muster up another force. Econ's low for both of them. This guy's got this one last attack in him. And if he can just clear this army with a few units left, he can get right on the Warrens. But he needs a good hit. That's not bad. His chameleons are very healthy. They push through, and he's still got moles to delete Warrens with. Moccacino's resupplying. Oh, and this guy's just forced back. And it looks like this chameleon isn't going to get away either. Oh no, it is. Is this guy just going to... This guy not going to decloak it on the mill. This guy's going to have to sell toads, probably? Or moles, or maybe the cams at this point. I guess the cams are the only thing you've got against this squirrel rule. Okay, this guy is actually going to get out some semblance of an army, but he's very supply blocked, and he's not rallied up. The toads did the best they could on the moles, but there weren't a lot of them. This guy needs to send in his chameleons. He's holding his chameleons back. Is this a genius move or an idiot move? He's got one chameleon over here and one chameleon over here, and he's not rallying either of them. Maybe he's trying to get Moccacino to starve. Like by instantly... He can instantly pick off a farm here. But this guy doesn't have long to build a mill. Like, he's going to starve. I don't get why he didn't sell some toads. He's supply blocked on toads, and he's got a mill here, and he just decided to not sell and to not build. And Moccacino's going to take it with 3-0.